Hello, good evening. My chosen help topic for this week is pneumonia. I chose this topic because my 10-year-old niece was just discharged from the hospital this week with a pneumonia diagnosis. She spent about a week and a half hospitalized and battling back from the effects that pneumonia placed on her body. When we talk about pneumonia, the question was asked, what is pneumonia? Pneumonia is a bacterial, viral, or fungal infection of one or both sides of your lung that causes air sacs to fill with fluid or pus. Pneumonia can be caused by many things. However, the most common causes of pneumonia are bacteria, such as the common cold or staph infection, viruses like influenza, mycoplasma, which is an infection of your mucous membrane, and a variety of things like inhalation of food, liquid, gas, or dust. Pneumonia can affect people of all ages. You are at risk if you smoke cigarettes, are malnourished, or drink alcohol in excessive amounts. Children under the age of 5 or adults over the age of 65 are at a greater risk because their immune systems are weaker or undeveloped due to their age. Pneumonia is a common illness in the United States as it affects millions each year. It is reported by thoracic.org that it is the #1 most cause of hospitalization in children in the U.S., where bacteria is reported as the most common cause of pneumonia in adults. The CDC lists Arkansas as number 8 in 2016 for pneumonia-related deaths, with a reported of 623 lives lost. I researched a few behavioral and environmental factors of pneumonia. Some of the behavioral factors that might contribute to pneumonia are poor hand washing skills, sharing drinks or food utensils, not covering your nose or mouth when you cough or sneeze, not sanitizing your home properly after an illness, or your shared space like at work, the coffee machines or printers, lack of vaccinations, smoking. Some say non-exclusive breastfeeding can be a factor as well. I added that personally to the behavioral factor because I believe that falls at the responsibility of the mother's behavior. You know, you have to provide the baby with as much of those antibodies found in breast milk that can help build up that child's immune system if you are able to. A few environmental factors I would like to mention are climate change, air pollution, indoor crowding, or just overspacing, period, breathing in the same air, as one another with a group of excessive people, like concerts or in an elevator. Lack of exposure to sunlight or UV radiation, because that can cause a vitamin D deficiency. Humidity and secondhand smoking. Economical factors that can affect acquiring or preventing pneumonia are the cost of vaccination, the access to vaccination, cost of hospital treatment if you acquire pneumonia, time off work, maybe even job loss if you can't take time off work. While politically, it can affect tourism here in America. That's a big political or big money-making business, tax dollars right there. It can halt government business. If, let's say, the president had pneumonia, it could halt business for the government that day. He wouldn't be able to make certain decisions. Or if there was an outbreak at a meeting of the nations, or, we wouldn't be able to handle business that day, world peace or fair trade, that could halt that type of business. And homeland security, it can affect homeland security if a passenger on a commercial or international flight had pneumonia. It could potentially cause an outbreak on to everyone that's on that plane, being that they're all sharing the same cabin air. I researched ethical factors, but really only found one that kind of just stood out, and that was human participation, which we did a project on that a few weeks earlier, where we found out that the number of people not receiving the flu shot is growing every year, almost just as fast as people who are contracting pneumonia each year. The CDC reported in 2016 that only 41.7% of adults over the age of 18 received the flu shot. And that's pretty much a drastic number, being that, you know, it's almost an incomplete number, because everyone don't report whether they receive it or not. Everyone doesn't do those, you know, surveys when asked. But for them to come to that conclusion with those numbers is still a great amount. In the end, I just want to briefly discuss the future of pneumonia. Pneumonia being a torturous disease, and there are over 90 variants of pneumonia. Controlling all 90 of those variants require that we take preventative action, if we are able to, by vaccination, washing your hands, cleaning up properly, staying home when you're sick, or and if we're not able to take preventative measures, help provide resources to those areas across the globe where access to health resources are scarce. I believe that we could achieve this by extending the availability of vaccines and continuing to provide or fund research that would help to develop more antigenic material that is able to fight all strands of pneumonia. There are already studies being reported that show researchers are working on new pneumonia vaccines that are protein-based, where that they would be able to treat all variants of the infection with just that one vaccine. We were asked if we believed that we would see a change in pneumonia, and I'm an optimistic thinker, so I do believe that all things are possible. So I can see lowering the fatality rate of pneumonia globally in our future, because we have lots, hundreds, thousands of smart scientists, researchers. We have financial gurus who can fund these things. So I do believe that we would see a change in the years to come in pneumonia and its effects on not only the U.S., but on the world as a whole. Thank you.